Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
And now we got this guy, right? He was an end. He was a real good athlete, really, really good athlete, Jack Lummus. I think he only caught one pass in his Giants career. But, a lot of the ends back then didn't necessarily catch a lot of passes, right? But Lummus, in college, he was, let me read that. I think it was SMU he was at. Let's see here. No, let's see. Jack Lummus was born October 22nd, 1915. He was an officer in the U.S. Marine Corps. He was a two-sport athlete at Baylor. I apologize. I thought it was SMU. Baylor. He played football, okay, and I think he played baseball too. Does it have his stuff here? No, he's in the Ring of Honor. Yeah, he's got a lot of awards from the military. Let's see. Okay, he went to Baylor. He enrolled at Baylor on September 14, 1937. He was an All-Southwest Conference center fielder, so it was baseball, for 3 years and an outstanding end on the football team. Those 3 years, the Bears finished third in baseball, and Lummus was considered to be the best center fielder that had ever played for Baylor. He was a fantastic athlete. In football, he played first string and he wore number 53. For 2 consecutive years, he was nominated by the Associated Press to the All-American team. And in 1938, he made honorable mention for the team. He was sometimes compared to Sam Boyd. Before he left Baylor, he signed a minor league baseball contract and his uniform player's contract to be with the Giants, to play with baseball Giants. On May 26, 1941, Jack Lummus, an Army Air Corps recruiter, came to the school. Lummus and 25 other students enlisted in the Air Corps and signed up for civilian flying school as a result of the visit. While waiting for the Air Corps to call him, Lummus inexplicably dropped out of Baylor. He was going to graduate soon, and his academic record showed satisfactory grades. The ongoing war in Europe was thought to have influenced his decision. Let's see. Lummus reported to Hicks Field, 40 miles northwest of Fort Worth, Texas, to enroll in flight school there that was licensed by the Army but run by civilians. While making his first solo flight, this is kind of odd, he flew the flight plan and landed without flaw. While taxiing on the runway, however, he accidentally clipped the fence with his wingtip, washing him out of flight school. He then traveled to the Giants training camp in Superior, Wisconsin. As one of 30 players who made the Giants roster, he wore number 29. He had signed on as a free agent and received a $100 monthly salary. He made the team as a rookie and then played in 9 games. On December 7, 1941, the Giants were playing the arch rival Brooklyn Dodgers. Around halftime, the Associated Press ticker in the press box gave out a message saying, "Airplanes identified as Japanese have attacked American naval base at Pearl Harbor." The players continued the game knowing nothing of the attack. The Giants lost, but went on to play the Chicago Bears in the championship game. Anyway, so Lummus, after the championship game, Lummus enlisted in the Marine Corps Reserve on January 30th, 1942, after finishing basic training at Main Side Recruit Training Center in San Diego, California. In January 1944, he was assigned as an executive officer. The division transferred to Camp Tarawa outside of Hawaii. Lummus boarded the USS Henry Clay for the trip, and after 4 months of training, the division was assigned to the V Amphibious Corps and would fight to take the island of Iwo Jima. My God, Iwo Jima, right? So I got the same thing here. I want to read this here. Whoops. All right. Where are we at here? Okay. He did. Lummus caught only one pass for 5 yards. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Okay. Lummus headed for the. Wait. All right. Okay. So once they landed on Iwo Jima, he was dispatched to lead a rifle platoon from Company E to secure a pass through a key gorge where he and his men were pinned down by Japanese sniper fire for a day and a half. According to the military reports acquired by Mary Hartman, Lummus' interest in California, he grew so impatient with the stalled advance that he decided to spring into action. Finally, Jack could bear it no longer, she wrote. He raced into no man's land, sprinting in the graceful gazelle-like style that had scored him so many touchdowns. Lummus headed for the first of 3 pillboxes he would take out that day when an enemy grenade exploded nearby, concussing him as he fell to the ground. Undaunted, he climbed to his feet and led a charge to the second enemy position where a second grenade struck, wounding him. But Lummus rose again, charging the second target and killing the snipers inside. Freaking unbelievable. That left one final pillbox, and it was the most challenging. Armed with a heavy machine gun, its fire scattered Lummus's men. But in a heroic scene, it seems scripted by Hollywood. In fact, it was documented by the military. Lummus is once again charged and silenced the bunker's occupants. Afterwards, the wounded junior officer rallied his Marines to clear Japanese positions from additional pillboxes, caves, spider traps, and even cover created by naval airstrikes to get through the gorge. And that's when it happened. Lummus stepped on a landmine that shredded his legs and feet. He would not survive the day. As he was carried to medical aid, he said, "Well, it looks like the Giants have lost a damn good end." Reports say that he repeated that phrase several times, perhaps as a mantra or prayer. The Marine Company's Fox and East moved through the gorge and completed their objective, but it came at the highest of cost for Lummus. He was one of over 6,800 men killed in the taking of Iwo Jima. Hartman's research showed that doctors thought Lummus could have survived his lower leg injuries, but that he couldn't overcome internal damage caused perhaps by the pair of exploding grenades that landed near him. For his heroics, Lummus was awarded the Medal of Honor, the United States Armed Forces' highest decorations, with a citation that read, "By his outstanding valor, skilled tactics, and tenacious perseverance in the face of overwhelming odds, First Lieutenant Lummus had inspired his stout-hearted Marines to continue the relentless drive northward, thereby contributing materially to the success of his regimental missions. His dauntless leadership and unwavering devotion to duty throughout to sustain and enhance the highest traditions of the U.S. Naval Services. He gallantly gave his life in the service of his country." Now, it also says here, let's see. Despite his minor wounds received from grenade fragmentation, Lummus knocked out 3 enemy strongholds, well-fortified positions arranged to defend each other, which were preventing his platoon from reaching its objective. Following this action, he stepped on a landmine and was mortally wounded, losing his legs. While laying on the ground, he urged his platoon on until he was carried off to an aid station. In a letter that was written to his mother, Lummus's commanding officer wrote, Jack suffered very little, for he did not live long. I saw Jack soon after he was hit. With calmness, serenity, and complacency, Jack said, the New York Giants lost a good man. Then he said, no, we all lost a good man. So, I mean, it's just, it's just amazing, what these guys do. And, unfortunately, it seems like sometimes as time goes by, a lot of this stuff kind of, Memorial Day. Yeah, we're going to cook some burgers. You're going to have some, have a couple cold beers, have some burgers, maybe some hot dogs, listen to some music, maybe go swimming in the pool. Yeah, it's the Memorial, you know what I mean? But you don't. I mean, and what happened to Al Bloses and Jack Lummus is just, a small percentage of the guys, the people that passed away in World War II, World War I, World War II, and all. But I mean, these guys are just true, absolute true heroes. And we always owe them huge debt of gratitude. That's why Al Bloses, number 32, has been retired, right? And Jack, they didn't retire Jack Lummus's number, but those two guys, Al Bloses and Jack Lummus, guys, thank you. You guys are awesome.